my name is Beck, and you, the Rabbi from another planet, please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell, so you are notified when new videos drop. So I have been watching WandaVision. I haven't really enjoyed watching WandaVision. It hasn't been terrible, okay? It hasn't been like being hit in the face repeatedly with a sock full of human excrement, which is how I would describe many other things nowadays. Like, yeah, would you rather watch the current Doctor Who or Star Trek Discovery or the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, or be hit in the face repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly, with a sock full of human excrement? It's a hard right thing. So this isn't in that category, but it has everything in it that makes you go, I might want to avoid this. It's certainly not worth subscribing to Disney Plus for. This is going to be a very, very spoiler-filled review. So you know, if you don't want to be spoiled, listen. You give me the the watch right now. You give me the view. That's great. If you can give me a like as well, that'd be great. And that's even if you dislike it, right? Even if you dislike the review, give me a like. I don't mind if you like. Look, normally speaking, I'm a rabbi. I say, right, lying is bad, kids. Lying is bad. Clicking the like button if you hate this video is fine. I'm going to give you a complete, biblical, I'm going to absolve you from that sin right there. Click the subscribe button as well. That'd be fan-freaking-tastic. Share, everybody share. Yeah, I shudder to think of a world where people don't know my every waking thought. So share the video. That'd be fantastic. But you know, be really great. You would know, be really absolutely incredible. If you could help me out, I'm trying to monetize the channel. And I'm not trying to do it by offering membership, things like that. I want to offer something, which I think has value, which is comic books. I write and draw comic books. These are two awfully good ones, if I might say so. We have the Imperium stonking 100 pages. It's going to be longer though, because we're in spitting distance of a stretch goal where we're adding more pages in. Page graphic novel, and then there's a biblical, really good, 220 pages, 180 pages of story. Lots of fun stuff there. If you like, hacking death and bereavement, lots of fun stuff there. So you get both these graphic novels for like the main perk. Also you get a bunch of new extras, because again, the campaign is doing well. So when the campaign does well, everything gets better. So we have this poster. It's going to be an A3 poster. I think right now it's on the mid to upper level tiers. I think if we hit 12 grand, which I'm hoping we will, then it's going to go out to everybody gets both books. And it went down so well, by the way. I on a live stream on Thursday said, listen, we're getting another back. We're going to do another post like this with Kabita Capaldi. Got a few more backers straight away. So like here's the design sketch for the next one. It's going to be a little bit different. This I gave him some tweaks, but roughly this. You also get 4 fantastic art cards, which I call For the Male Gaze. This will probably also be expanding. You get a Space 1999 one. You get a Judge Dredd one. I like this one. This Judge Dredd one. You get a James Bondy one. You get a Doctor Who one, and now you also get a Star Trek-y one. This is the latest one. I'm sensing strong emotions, Captain. Mainly from my pants. Fine. What am I not sensing strong emotions from? WandaVision. I'm not sensing strong emotions for it at all. So I'm going to pull up the episode guide and go through it. Although the first 3 episodes completely skippable. So okay, let's look at it in overview. In hindsight now, this is 100% the MCU, which makes it something that I'm not that interested in. So if you're new to my channel, I have a soapbox that I've been standing up on and screaming the same message over and over again. That when you take something that really works well when it's made for 8-year-old boys, Star Wars, Doctor Who, for example, and you make it for 8-year-old girls, Star Wars, Doctor Who, for example, it's not very popular. It doesn't go down very well. It's not very good. It's in fact because the girls don't generally like it. And I want to be very clear, because there are people out there who are harder thinking, who cannot put this simple thought together. When I'm talking in generalities, it's not talking in absolutes. When I say generally speaking, girls are not that interested in Star Wars. That doesn't mean no girl is ever interested in Star Wars. That's nonsense. One of my favorite channels is, in fact, that Star Wars girl, right, who is obsessed with Star Wars. So that's absolutely nonsense. But generally speaking, we're talking the generalities that girls prefer to play with My Little Pony. Play with princesses. And boys aren't really interested in it because it's too girly, right? So yeah, they're not interested. So that's basically where we are with the MCU. This is a completely female-led, female-dominated, I think, phase of the MCU. And I'm out. Basically, I saw this coming with Ant-Man and Wasp, quite frankly, and Captain Marvel. And they had Endgame. That was a fine exit point. It was one movie too long. I could, if that exit point came a couple of movies earlier, I would have been much happy because I would have been able to avoid it like degenerating into this this utter nonsense where we pretend en masse that men and women are identical. Men and women are not identical. They're not interchangeable. Genders, generally speaking, again, generally speaking, when I say generally speaking, for 99% of our species plus, for the entirety of human history, gender is not fluid. And I know this is something that when you say it, there's a lot of people today, if you're under 30, you go, that's bigotry! That's bigotry! No, it's not. It's not. It's science. It's not. And if you ask somebody for whom gender is fluid, groovy. But there's this idea in Hollywood and the entertainment industry that they got to socially condition us that gender is fluid because they're crazy. Honestly, if you really pare it down, I just think it goes to an absolute hatred of a Judeo-Christian conception of God. And that's really because it's like they hate everything about it, including the boundaries and definitions of male and female. Which okay. So that's why I didn't think it worked. Why I do think it worked is it still has the Kevin Feige ability to pull together an entertaining show. So you have this woman, Monica Rambeau, who's like becomes one of the main characters pretty early on. And you don't know anything about her. You don't really care about her in any way if you haven't seen her before. If you know her from the comics, you're interested. But at least she's played by a charismatic, attractive actress, right? Which is something that they've eschewed from in Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Star Wars. So at least that happens, and so it's not so obvious at how bad this is, how obnoxious this series is. So the first 3 episodes, I'm just going to whiz by. First episode is called Film Before a Live Studio Audience. And the title of it just makes you scream at me that they think they're so clever. They think they're so insanely clever. They're not. They spent. Do they have the episode length in this Wikipedia? They're all about half hour long. It's a complete waste of half hour. It's Wanda and it's everything you've seen from the ads. It's Wanda and Vision in a 1950s sitcom in black and white. Something weird's happening, and they keep going. Ooh, something strange happening. I bet you can't guess. Ooh, is this real? Ooh, it's obvious. It's obvious within 5 minutes. Like, that's all they needed to spend on this premise is 5 minutes, right? Like, they were so freaking impressed with themselves that they had to put a whole half hour into it. And then another half hour. Don't touch that dial. Believe me, I already touched the dial. Forget it. And now in color, it was a 7th. So they had a 50s sitcom, 60s sitcom, 70s sitcom. This is where Monica Rambeau turns up. And you find out it's not really normal sitcom world. At the end of it, they're in a bubble. This town called Westview is in this like weird red glowy kind of TV-esque bubble. So then episode 4, what they really should have done is take these first 4 episodes, which are 2 hours long, and edit it down to, I would say, a 90-minute movie, and less than that. And this is actually, you know what? I think edit them down to. This could have been a 45-minute opening, maybe if you want to do an hour opening, where you go through the 3 different versions of the 50s, 60s, 70s sitcom. At the end of episode 3, we get introduced to what they said. This is what they said would be to the same level of like mind blowingness and importance as Luke Skywalker appearing at the end of the Mandalorian. Well, it's not that well, firstly, it's not in any way, shape, or form. And however mind blowing we thought Luke Skywalker appearing as a heroic white male, forbidden by Disney. Yeah, however mind blowing, they found a way of utterly destroying that within 2 months. Like utterly destroying that. I have no interest in going back for the Book of Boba Fett. I hope Disney Plus implodes beforehand, and I really it killed it. It killed the love of that for me. Yeah, the whole Gina Carano thing. That's something I really noticed at the beginning of each episode when you got the Marvel fan for that dun 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 dun, and I used to get really excited, like whoa! You see Captain America and Thor, and now I'm like, it's over. I don't care. I'm not elated by this anymore. You have killed it with all your insane woke lecturing and politics. I mean, really, if the was it F-Force? Is that what they call the Fem-Force scene? Which is unwatchable. Oh my god. Unwatchable. In fact, it nearly makes the whole movie unwatchable. That 3-minute scene where you have all the stunning and brave women of the Marvel Universe. It would have been cute, if it wasn't so been battered over your head with Ant-Man and Wasp and Captain Marvel. But it's killed it. It's over. It's just over. So at the end of episode 3, we have Wanda's brother, Pietro, turned up, who was killed in Age of Ultron, which is an absolutely terrible Marvel movie, right? It's worse than this one. And this time it's played by the X-Men actor, whatever his name is. Who cares? And they're like, ooh, how can this happen? Like everything in the show, it has a terrible payoff. Fine. So, Captain Monica Rambeau. Now we're up to episode 4. I'll read the synopsis. Captain Monica Rambeau, an agent of SWORD. I can't remember what SWORD is an acronym for. Returns to life following the blip. Yeah. Okay. So basically, at the end of was it Endgame or no Infinity War? Thanos snaps fingers. Half the universe blipped away. She was one of the half that blipped away. Now, we haven't seen this character since she was a child in the Captain Marvel movie, so I have no connection to her whatsoever, right? Like if they built her up in any way, like if we had seen her blip out of existence, if they had all these scenes like of older was it Maria Rambeau and her mother? Somehow they incorporated that in somehow, and then when she appeared after the blip, I'd be like, oh my god, this is interesting. But no, they're airdropping a black woman onto a successful franchise and expecting me to adore her. For no reason. Again, the reason the MCU worked is because they slowly, methodically built up the characters. They built up Iron Man, and they allowed them to be flawed. See, that was a great thing. This is why you root for heroes, right? Because they overcome themselves. That's true heroism, right? And that heroism is in the grasp of every person, which makes them aspirational, which makes them relatable. They overcome. So you had, Iron Man. He was a bit, this, very non-altruistic person, right? And he overcame that and became started to work for the world around him. He had Captain America when I love that first Captain America movie when you saw his heroism before he became Captain America. When he got beaten up and said, I can do this all day, when he was a wimpy kid. He was a hero before he became Captain America, right? That's what was great. Thor was a precocious kid. And he had to learn something. He had to grow. He had to be a better person, and that made us connect with him. And also they were fun, enjoyable movies. I know nothing about Captain Monica Rambeau whatsoever, other than she's the bestest ever. She's the bestest ever. So anyway, so she returns to life, and she's sent to acting director Hayward. Tyler Hayward to help the FBI agent Jimmy Woo, who I believe was in some of those shorts on the MCU Blu-rays, right? The trouble is, okay, they form this group And it's very similar to Star Trek Discovery. You have the bridge crew in the end of season 3. They're trying to save the Enterprise, not the Enterprise, Discovery, but they just seem like the Muppet Babies, right? They just like these pathetic, stupid, cutesy fools. Same sort of thing. So you got her, you got what's her name, the woman from Thor, was it Kat Dennings from Thor, who looks hot, okay? Don't mind Kat Dennings. She looks hot. That kind of smooths it over me. And you got Jimmy Woo again, and they were there to investigate this what's going on in this town of Westview, which has been cut off. They get there, so they get there before episode 1 starts, and yeah, Monica Rambeau, because she's the best as ever, goes in to investigate. She becomes subsumed to part of this reality of being in TV shows, and she starts to break out. And it basically ends up with her being with the end of episode 3, at the end of episode 4. So you catch up with everything. So then they're in an 80s, coming in an 1980s, early 90s setting. Wanda and Vision. On a very special episode. You see, yeah, they're all so freaking proud of themselves at how clever they are. Stop being proud of how clever you are and try and just make good TV. In a 1980s, early 90s setting, Wanda and Vision struggle to stop Billy and Tommy from crying. Oh yeah, fine. So at the end of episode 2, I think she was pregnant, and then she had 2 kids in episode 3, and then now they kind of like, oh yeah, so they seem to have superpowers, as it turns out. He and Wanda are interrupted when Billy and Tommy suddenly age up 5 years because they want a dog. And they found a dog, and keep him. They said, "Oh, you're too young. You have to be older." Then they age themselves up 5 years to make them 10 years old, so they can have a dog. At work, Vision reads emails from Sword. So Vision was killed in, I think, twice, wasn't he? In Infinity War and Endgame. So how's he alive? That's one of the big things. So Vision starts to realize that something's amiss with reality. So he reads an email from Sword that reveals the situation in Westview. He breaks through to a Westview resident and learns that Wanda is controlling them all. So essentially, Wanda at this point is the villain, right? She seems to be the villain, and I think that's a reasonable way of looking at her. Sword sends a drone from the 1980s into Westview, because anything they send in there gets like turned into a something from that era. So they sent a truck in like when it was in the 50s, it became like an ice cream truck. So they sent a drone in from that era, and that drone managed to keep it the same. That was quite a clever idea, right? Yeah. He breaks. Hayward orders the drone to be used to kill Wanda. Yeah. So at this point, Hayward, he becomes the bigger villain than Wanda, even though that she's brainwashed and controlled a bunch of people. An entire town of people, and he wants to stop it. No, he's bad. You know why he's bad? He's a white man, and it's again MCU screaming it out as loud as it can possibly be. But she emerges from the barrier and warns Hayward to leave her alone. Agnes, so you have the nosy neighbors been through the way. Agnes finds a dead Sparky, the dog that they found, that the kids found earlier. Vision confronts Wanda about her actions, but they're in. Oh, so Pietro arrives at the end of episode. I thought he arrived at the end of episode 3. Was it about the action? But they're into it when Pietro arrives. Watching the broadcast, Darcy notes that Pietro has been recast. So fine, yes, Pietro now is the X-Men version. Really, I really thought that he was that was in the episode. But again, it's all pretty forgettable. It's a lot of padding. This whole thing was about 5.5 hours long. Could have easily been a 2.5 hour movie. Easily. There'd been a 2.5 hour movie. It wouldn't have been any better for it, right? It wouldn't have been any better for it. It would have taken up less of your time. So then episode 5, the all new Halloween Spooktacular. Again, stop being so proud of yourselves with every, oh, look at me. Oh, look, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, no, leave me alone. In the late 1990s, early 2000s setting, yeah, so they're in like, it's like every show you saw back then. Yeah, Wanda wants to spend Timmy and Billy's first Halloween together as a family, but Vision tells them they're going to patrol the streets with the neighborhood watch. Pietro offers to step in as a father. So there's actually quite a cool bit where he dresses up as the comic book version of whatever his name is, whatever the superhero name is. Oh man, Quicksilver. Pietro offers to step in as dad and take the kids trick-or-treating, causing mischief with his super speed. When Tommy's revealed, which Tommy he has inherited. Meanwhile, Vision explores further away from the house and finds the resident of Westview standing frozen positions. Yeah, I remember one time I was playing, I think, Half-Life 2, and somehow I got ahead of myself and I didn't trigger the thing, so all the characters were standing like, like not saying anything, kind of the same way. They all like NPCs. I guess it's kind of a like a common experience. Vision explores everything sounds frozen, including Agnes. Vision speaks to Agnes's real self, and she tells him that he's dead. Outside Westview, Hayward orders Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy to leave the base for disagreeing with his decision to attack Wanda. He is in command, right? Yeah, he is in command, and these insane Muppet babies are trying to, for some reason, stop them taking out Wanda, who has become insanely powerful. They hack into the computer, so break the law, in other words, to discover that he has been tracking Vision's vibranium signature. Yeah, and again, quite reasonably, Vision is the most, even though he's dead, he's made of vibranium, the most valuable metal in the world. I don't see how he's stepping out of line, right? Everything seems pretty normal. Vision tries to push through the static wall, but as he does, he begins to disintegrate because he's not alive, right, in the outside the bubble. Billy senses this and tells Wanda, who expands the hexagonal static wall, right, and it expands out and it encompasses a bunch more people. All the army trucks become like circus trucks, things like that. Again, it's just. It's not bad. It's just not holding my attention, and I'm not. The MCU-ness of it is just like obnoxious as obnoxious as anything. In late to mid 2000s, Wanda in the episode Breaking the Fourth Wall decides to have a day to herself. Agnes agrees to babysit Tommy and Billy. Wanda sees various parts of her house constantly changing and is unable to control. Yeah, so they keep flitting between 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all these different versions, and they got a nice kind of staticky special effects when they change into each thing. Wanda wakes up to find sword agents outside the boundary are now circus people. He releases Darcy from the spell. Well, Vision wakes up to find it. So it releases Darcy from the spell, and she tells Vision about his death and the events and current situation. Outside Westview's, Monica and Jimmy meet with loyal sword personnel, obtaining a vehicle who are able to cross the barrier. This was really dumb. Okay, so they get this big space truck to break into the barrier. Again, going completely against the legitimate commander who is commanding everything legitimately, but she's got the big space truck which has extra padding. It seems to me that the amount of padding is irrelevant, right? It's absolutely irrelevant. It changes reality. It skews reality. I've told her, Monica, if she goes back in, she might get changed forever, but she's so stunning and brave. She doesn't care. So she goes in with this truck, and the truck starts getting changed. And then she just walks through it, right? She walks through the barrier, and she sees all the different versions of herself. But she breaks through and she's fine, and now she has superpowers. Okay, whatever. When Monica confronts Wanda, Agnes tells Monica to leave and takes Wanda to her house. Wanda looks for the boys in the basement and discovers a strange lair. Agnes introduces herself as a witch named Agatha Harkness and reveals that she's been interfering with Wanda, including by sending Pietro Imposter and killing Sparky. So finally when we get this is where we get some answers. Agnes is revealed to be the main villain. Agatha Harkness is revealed to be the main villain. and it's not very good, right? Because right now, at that moment, when it goes into magic, which is kind of like fairyish magic, and I know that we've had magic in Doctor Strange, but it seemed to be a much more like boyish magic. You know, it seems to be more like science fiction magic. They do the like the circly things, yeah, and it seemed again just science fictiony, where this seems much more fantasy-ish because this is a girls' show, right? This is a girls' show. This is like reading a girls' comic. And it's fine. They made girls' comics because girls like comics. Some of them, not many, but these weren't the main sellers. These are things you added in as well to fill out your coffers, and that's where it really doesn't work, right? Bringing in Agatha Harkness, this is where it goes completely MCU because it's it's not just female dominated, it's female orientated. So then we got the last 2 episodes. We get a bit of backstories for Agnes. I'll just read through the last bits because already I'm like, oh god, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So next, let's see. In Salem 1693, coven of witches led by Mother involve an attempt to kill Agatha for practicing dark magic, but she drains her life force. In the present, Agatha demands to know how Wanda is controlling Westview. Yeah, so she's like, how did you get this chaos magic? So you go through all this thing. Was it Agatha learns that Wanda has had magical abilities since she was a child, which were then later amplified by the Mind Stone. And she's always enjoyed watching sitcoms. Yes, the reveal of why she created a sitcom world is just lame. She used to like watching sitcoms, right? So when she's like has a nervous breakdown, she creates a sitcom reality. And it's kind of dumb. It's just dumb. It doesn't work. It's a girl's comic. That's really what it is. Agatha concludes that Wanda possesses a legendary form of magic called Chaos Magic and dubs her, "You're a Scarlet Witch." So, okay, fine. So now she's Scarlet Witch. Mid-credit scene, Hayward reveals they reactivate Vision with an all-new white version. Assembled from the original body. This is from the comics, and again, it's in a setting that I'm just not that interested in. Agatha attempts to take Wanda's chaos. There's a final episode, the series finale. Again, they think they're being so cutesy. Oh, look at us! Oh, look, we're so clever. Agatha attempts to take Wanda's chaos magic, but is interrupted by the Vision, who tries to kill Wanda before conditional Vision intercedes. So that's the White Vision. I don't know why they didn't call him the same thing they called him from the comic, and I can't remember what they called him from the comic. The two Visions fight throughout Westview, while Agatha frees residents of Westview from Wanda's control. Pleading with Wanda, they convince her to open up the barrier. Oh, we don't like being controlled by you. Yeah, and she feels bad for a minute. She stops when the Vision and the twins begin to disintegrate because she realized the only reason that that her version of Vision and the kids exist is they're an extension of her. They're an extension of like her magic. But not before Hayward and Sword enter. Monica frees Pietro is actually Ralph Bonner from Agatha's control. Yeah, another really lame explanation, right? Really, just lame explanation. He was just a guy. Why do you look like the guy from X-Men? Who cares? The Vision Agatha's control and helps the twins stop Sword. Vision restores the other Vision's memories, the White Vision's memories. So I got confused at this point. I thought the White Vision then turned into like the colored Vision. I shouldn't say colored. Yeah, the red and green Vision. But I think he might have flown away. So this other Vision now has the memories of Vision. So he restores the memories. Wanda places magical runes around the barrier to prevent Agatha from using her magic. Yeah, again, a dumb. It was just a dumb finale. It was a dumb, way of ending it. And Wanda traps her as Agnes. Yeah, the character she was playing within the sitcom, within the boundary. Wanda says goodbye to Vision and twins before collapsing the barrier and goes into hiding. In a mid-credit scene, Hayward is arrested by Monica and is informed by a Skrull that her friend, a friend of her mother's, wants to meet her. I guess, is that Captain Marvel or is that the other Skrull guy from Captain Marvel? I don't care! I don't care! I'm out! In a post-credit scene, Wanda is studying the Darkhold, that's the evil magic book, in an astral form while she hears the twins cry for help. So, it ends with a bunch of cliffhangers. I'm not really interested in any of it, really. I'm not really in anything. So the next thing to come out is going to be, I think it's 3 or 4 weeks long, Falcon and Winter Soldier. How are they going to fag up that? I don't know. How are they going to feminize that? My guess is as good as yours. How they're doing it with the Loki series, apparently Loki is only in the first episode. It's female Loki. All the way after that, it's the MCU. And I can see why they wanted to really start this phase off with... was it Black Widow? Because it's the MCU. And my feeling is exactly the same as it was going into the very first episode when I got the Marvel fanfare. I don't care. I don't really read girls' comics. This is what this is. I can't believe they spent that much money on this. It's ridiculous, and it's not worth your time. The MCU phase, or the MCU phase 4, is not worth your time. So there you go, WandaVision. I've watched it, so you don't have to. I hope you enjoy. My name's Ian Beck, and you are Rabbi from another planet. Please do not forget to check out my Indiegogo. Let's have a quick look at it again, because you know why. It doesn't hurt to advertise, baby. Does not hurt to advertise. Please don't forget to check out my Indiegogo. Like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell, so you are notified when new video drops. And have yourself a fantastic day.